You must be the change you wish to see in the world, says Gandhi. Hi, it's Rhonda, the good influence, her. Take a second and congratulate yourself for starting the second half of season 1. I'm just thrilled. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Now, what do you think about climbing a mountain, or how about a pyramid? This is my application of Maslow's pyramid, or Maslow's pyramid of needs. I want to share with you the knowledge that truly helped me to put a better perspective on my life. What I mean by better perspective is that I told you in the first episode, I like to take big steps, and that I've achieved some great goals, and I still found myself struggling sometimes financially, and honestly, most of the time emotionally and physically, especially about my weight. The best way I think I can describe it is that for every big step that I took, it was like taking 3 steps back. My life was up and down and back and forth. I remember that so well. Each time I thought I was nearing the top of that mountain, I trudged and I held on, and I just had that hope, and then I found myself disappointed again because I realized I had much farther to really go. It really felt like a downward spiral. And of course, I would pick myself up and I'd start again. But here, months would go by, years would go by, and now for some of us, decades have gone by. This is causing some real suffering in our lives because we keep focusing on the prize, the golden ticket, the crown. So why is this happening, and why does it keep happening? How can we really get ahead financially, emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually? Can you stop and admit that what you're doing right now is not working out the way you want it to? Can you start in that place? Can you take the time to listen about how Maslow's pyramid of needs may be what you need to hear and see clearly why you're lingering? I remember Dr. Fred Price of the Crenshaw Christian Center. He used to always say to his congregation, what do you have to lose? The time is going to pass by anyway. So what do you have to lose? Let's start making your time count. Let's get to the top. Are you ready? Let's go. Episode 6, an introduction to Maslow's pyramid, how we turned it into a Rubik's Cube. Hi, it's Rhonda, the good influencer. I think most of us have heard of Maslow's hierarchy pyramid of needs. I know I did in high school and again in college, and it made sense to me, but it really didn't resonate until I was out of college. And I found myself scrambling paycheck to pay rent, buy food, clothes, make a car payment, find a boyfriend to turn into a husband, and of course, worry about having kids. Oh, and let's not forget to pay back my college loan. Is it coming back to you? This is that pyramid of levels from the bottom to the top that explains what needs need to be met in order to be at the top. The apex, the zenith, the apogee, the capstone. The top is where we want to be, live, stay. That is the goal. Maslow's pyramid is famously recognized as a profound measure of structural truth about the human existence. The obvious and most noticeable fact about the structure is that the bottom is heavy, suggesting that, in my opinion, that you must have a good and solid foundation. And with that solid foundation, you can successfully make your climb upward to the top as you conquer and combine the levels of your pyramid. I like the symbolism of the pyramid. I learned that if you put in the initial work or good quality, taking those incremental steps, then building and conquering the next levels was much easier, almost natural and innate, just obvious. And the fear was dissipating. That was the best part. That was really cool. Of course, there are critics who do disagree and challenge the correctness of the pyramid, and some of those notions do kind of ring true. For example, some of the experts conclude that most of us are a combination of all the levels simultaneously building the levels all at once together, and therefore we are structured more like a square. Well, I do kind of agree in some way because of the advent and advancement of technology. Sure, we may exist on various levels simultaneously, but in my humble opinion, truthfully, living in the experience of the shape of a pyramid is what propelled me to be able to live my best life. When I accepted the understanding of building a solid level 1 foundation, then level 2, I could move forward without having to turn around and go back to that level and address an unfinished issue. And that's where I used to get hung up, not taking quality steps forward and taking steps backward. This is where I see a lot of my friends getting caught up, stuck, and frustrated with life. This is the problem. You are doing all the right things with the right intentions, but you found yourself living in this stuck place for years, and sadly, maybe discouraged you, and you figured you'd just drop out of your dreams completely. But there is a way to break out of this cycle. Let's first deconstruct Maslow's pyramid. Hopefully, I can put it into more real life terminology so you can determine if you are really climbing up the pyramid to the top, or are you solving it like a Rubik's Cube? Okay, who is Maslow? Abraham Maslow in 1943 wrote a paper, A Theory of Human Motivation. Now, disclaimer, I don't know any of the scientific evidence to this model. I'm not sure if there is any. I'm just giving you my personal take. This is what helped me to get past issues so I could live my best life, and I want that for you. This is why I'm doing this podcast, to share with you why I am able to afford to do this and many other things that I enjoy. So we can debate what may be wrong or right with Maslow's pyramid. We all know that life today is complex. But what I know is that I am living proof of someone who's adopted Maslow's philosophy. And my life is good. That's the proof that I have. Okay, here are the 5 levels to the pyramid. You start from the bottom, remember, and you move up to the top. So level 1. This is the physiological needs. We need food, water, we need to breathe, we need a homeostasis, and we reproduce, we create families. So these are just basic needs that need to be resolved and solved and just made solid and whole in your life. Then you can successfully move to level 2, security, safety needs, financial security, health, wellness, safety against accidents and injury. This is about having a good job, making sure you have enough money, that you have insurance, and that you're protected. Then you can go to level 3, social needs. You feel good about yourself. You want to have friendships, romantic attachments. You want to join social groups, community groups, churches, maybe religious organizations. Then you can move to level 4. This is your personal worth. At this point, it becomes increasingly important for you to gain that respect and appreciation from others and of others. You know, you have a personal need to accomplish things and then have your efforts recognized. Then you've made it. You're at the top. Level 5, self-actualization needs. Your full potential has been achieved. You're less concerned with the opinions of others. This is where you want to accomplish everything that you can be. Some people might just want to be a good parent. You might want to start creating paintings. You might want to create inventions. This is where you know your value. This is where you understand your goal and your motivations in life. Wouldn't this be wonderful if every one of us could be here? That's what I would love to see in the world. I really would. Ask yourself, if you knew all of your bills would be paid forever, you owned your home, no mortgage, you owned your car, free and clear, where would you think you'd find yourself on this pyramid? Not on level 1 or level 2, which is where most of us spend a lifetime struggling, which becomes suffering in silence, stuck to live a life that you're not living in your full potential. This is the mind game that you're playing, trying to solve the Rubik's Cube. You get 1 or 2 sides that all the colors are matching, but the other 6 sides are messy. So you go back to solve the other 6 sides, and then that creates the other 2 sides to shift and become messy again. And you keep going back and forth and back and forth. The question is, how can you solve it without any of the sides messing up? Or rather, climb up Maslow's pyramid right to the top and become the most that you can be. For me in my life, I had to solve level 1, which remember is the bottom, the heaviest, the biggest challenge to conquer, the physiological needs, air, water, food, shelter, sleep, clothing, reproduction, which is where we're going to start in episode 7. This was just an introduction to Maslow's pyramid. I left a link of one of my favorite YouTube channels. It's only a 6-minute video, so I hope that you do watch it. And in episode 7, we will start to climb together and talk about the very foundation I needed and maybe you need to make your life work. I'm going to take the necessary time to go through this very slowly. This drastically changed my life once I stopped living month to month, paycheck to paycheck, which was against myself. So I hope you'll be ready next time to ask yourself some very serious questions about how you're living. Are you living your best life? Can you imagine how many more people you can be a good influence on if you start living your best life? That would be amazing. See you back for episode 7. I can't wait.